Time and time again, we talk about how things are slowly getting better. But at the same time, just a little wrinkle will make things eventually get worse. And that's actually what's happening right now. I want to show you this story. This story right here, you can see it right here. The LA Long Beach Port Terminal closures stretch to second day. What does this mean? Well, effectively what has happened is the LA and Long Beach ports, they closed for the second day. This is Friday, April 7th. They actually closed yesterday as well because of a labor shortage. It's not because there's not enough workers. It's because workers don't want to go in. That's why. Now, why does this matter? Well, we've seen this with retail locations. I know I talked to a grocery store about a week or so ago, and the manager told me it is very difficult to get workers in. They just don't want to come into work. That's what they said. We've also seen this with some car dealerships where the dealerships will have the salespeople, but the issue is they don't want to come in. In most cases, some of these car dealers will actually have, and some of these salesmen will have a second job. They'll go there. They will not come into the dealership. Now, granted, a lot of people are not buying cars, but at the same time, if that's your job, you should probably do it. Well, guess what? This is not the case here. And the problem with this, and again, I don't want to go and talk about the negotiations that are going on because there are some, and they are, these workers want to make sure they're being heard. Well, here's what I can tell you. And it doesn't matter where you live in the United States, this is going to turn into a problem. Here's the reason why. So right here, it says, still, an extended shutdown could disrupt supply chains. What are they talking about? Well, talking about this. So right now, the threat of delays during contract talks has spurred retailers, manufacturers, and other importers to avoid potential shipping delays or snarls by diverting goods to the East and Gulf coasts. Now, the problem is we are still, even a temporary one, is still going to hurt the U.S. economy. Says an extended shutdown could disrupt supply chains. It doesn't matter if it's extended or it's a short-term shutdown. It is still going to cause disruptions. It goes on to say the National Retail Federation said it has renewed a call to the White House to engage in the labor negotiations and prevent disruptions to cargo flows in a statement on Friday, which is today. I also go on to say this. The West Coast ports, especially those in Los Angeles and Long Beach, which are two of the biggest ports in the United States, are a pivotal entry point to the U.S. that allow American consumers access to global products and essential goods. Now, what are we going to do? Why is this a problem? And why is this bigger than what we originally thought? Well, what most people originally thought was actually pretty simple. The supply chain issues were over. We didn't have to worry about the supply chain issues because the big issue that we had was we had too many ships docked at the ports or pretty much waiting off in the water, waiting to come to the dock to unload. That was the big worry. But according to reports, that's not the worry now. The worry now is workers want to be heard. Yeah, workers just want to be heard, right? They want to make sure their meals, they have enough time for lunch, for breaks, right? Some want to make sure that they have some paid sick time, right? These are all part of the discussions. And so I bring this up because it's not just the ports. It's not. We have dealt with this with the railroads. We've dealt with it with the ports for many years. We know railroads, we're still going to see issues there. But another big one is what about airlines? What about the airports? This is turning into a major issue. And I bring this up because a lot of people said that, no, we're perfectly fine. We're going to get through this. Not a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a major deal. And I don't think many people are ready for this because we continue to buy the majority of our products, majority of our goods are coming from other countries, specifically China. Guess what? If we are seeing a labor shortage, If people are not coming into work, and the people that do come into work, they got to be sent home because there's not enough to operate the terminals, guess what? Everything comes to a halt. It's not just the people that are going to lose money because they're not working. It's also the businesses are going to lose money because they're not selling goods. We're going to see transportation get kind of, stuck in a little bit of a snarl as well. There's a lot of issues here. And I bring this up because, again, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but things like this, even if it's a shutdown just for a couple of days, this is going to be extremely impactful. It's going to slow everything down, all right? And I just wanted to fill you in on this because I know a lot of people were wondering, well, if things are looking so much better, then why is everybody talking about a recession? Why are people still talking about potential inflation? It's this. This is the reason why, okay? And I bring this up because even if it's just a 2-day closure, the reason why this is so big is because if we see a shortage of products, guess what? It means prices can go up. It means there's some upward pressure on inflation. That's not what we want to see. And so, again, and the reason I talk about this all the time is because we're not out of the woods. Yeah, maybe COVID isn't a big deal now. We're not all worried about the virus, but everybody's worried about inflation, worried about a recession, worried about the supply chain, worried about a banking crisis, worried about the debt ceiling, and so much more, right? Everybody has something to say. Just today, I was talking to somebody, we were talking about inflation, and they came out and they said, is it really true? Did the lawyer that is trying to sentence President Trump, did he really donate to the Biden campaign? And I said, yeah, he donated $15. And that was pretty much the end of our discussion on inflation. And he was all hot and bothered about this $15 donation. Here's the thing. Right now, we're going to be shown different stories and we're going to be blindsided by different shocking events. But just understand one thing. Inflation is still a problem. We will dip into recession at some point. When we do, the economy is going to struggle. All right? So I know a lot of people are hurting, but I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on. This is going to impact us. It's going to impact every single one of us. Just be aware of that. I will come back later on today, fill you in on some more news and updates as to what is going on from some other parts of the economy. If you have any questions whatsoever, or if there's something you want me to cover, please put it down in the comment section below. But again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.